to Official Storytime with Miss Anna. Today we're going to be reading With Great Power, The Marvelous Stan Lee, an Unauthorized Biography by Annie Hunter Erickson. Illustrated by Lee Gatling. Let's see what the book is all about. Stan Lee didn't have hulking strength, or fantastic flexibility, or cat-like reflexes. His superpower was creating heroes who did. But back when he was Stan Lieber, a kid growing up in New York City, he didn't feel super. Stanley's family could barely afford groceries. In their tiny apartment in the Bronx, the only window had a perfect view of a brick wall. So Stan Lee discovered a better window to see the world: stories. No matter how ant-sized his home felt, the world in his stories was enormous. Stan Lee shivered at the monstrousness of Frankenstein and whizzed through Shakespeare's tales of mischievous tricksters and dangerous magic. When he had zoomed through all of those stories, Stan Lee invented his own. He decided he was going to be the next great American writer. But Stanley's father, mother, and kid brother, Larry, were counting on him to help make ends meet. So at 16 and a half, he set out in his search for a job. Leavers never loaf around. Luckily, a magazine called Timely Comics was hiring. With his gig, Stanley could get his foot in the door in the world of writing. But for now, he will be Stanley Lieber, errand boy. Shada-shing, ka-clink went the pens, and errand boy filled them in the inkwells. Wit-woo rang the pencil as errand boy erased lines for the artist. Dropped errand boy's long notes on writers' desks. Errand boy rushed by to deliver everyone's lunch. When Timely Comics was in dire need of anyone to write a filler story for Captain America, who was around to save the day? None other than Errand Boy. With a stroke of a pen, Stanley went from a sandwich fetching sidekick to published writer, whose superheroes were a dime a dozen, and sometimes mock-ass long underwear characters who want to put their name on something like that. So he signed his first story as Stan Lee. No one will ever suspect that Stan Lieber, the next great American writer, once wrote comic books. It was the perfect disguise. Ha! That's more like it. Time for some real action. Bucky boy, get geese, Cap. You said it. Grum. Kabam. Pages meant payday, so Stanley scribbled stories in a flurry. He had a long way to go to be as fast as veteran creators Joe Simon and Jack the King Kirby, who cranked out issues at breakneck speed. Everything changed when the famed comic book duo quit. Stan was suddenly alone in a quiet office. No hearty laughs from Joe, no humming from Jack. Timely Comics needed an editor, and once again, Stan answered the call. Visitors to Timely Comics were aghast when they asked for the editor. Mr. Lee, and now stepped a teenager. Stan was living the dream. But comics were driven by sales, not story, and Stan found himself churning out the same plots over and over and over again for each new trend. A flawless chiseled hero, predictable, saves the day in a cowboy hat, in army fatigues, or in a cape. 2 decades just like this paraded on by. Timely Comics became Atlas Comics. Atlas Comics became Marvel Comics. Stan was one more humdrum comic book story away from losing his mind. He huffed home to his beloved wife, Johnny. He was actually going to quit, but Johnny had different advice. Why not finally sneak in a story he always wanted to tell? Quit or be fired. There's nothing to lose. So Stan teamed up with Jack Kirby, pushed up his sleeves, and made a character whose body and long-winded dialogue stretched for miles. Mr. Fantastic. He set the page ablaze with a real hothead, Human Torch. He created a character who had to fight to be more than a vanishing act, the Invisible Girl. Then he made a character as stubborn as a rock, the Thing. With Jack's artwork inking it all to life, it was something to be proud of. The flow but Fantastic Four. It was a different recipe than usual. Perfect superhero formula, a pinch of superpowers, and a heaping of humanity mixed for an explosion of chemistry. Readers ate it up. But what could Stan give them next? He mused on his days as a kid growing up in New York City. Gee, unlike the muscle bound heroes of the past, a hero could be anybody, even a lonely, gawky kid in the Bronx who didn't have two pennies to rub together. Science whiz, certified geek, orphan, tall, lanky, a professional wallflower who didn't know a cha-cha from a waltz. This hero will feel lonely and shunned, but strive to protect even those who have bullied him. Sam furiously drafted, while artist sturdy Steve tiptoed through the perfect design until a new face peered back at them, Peter Parker, the amazing Spider-Man. It sounds like a comedy character, not a hero. People hate spiders. A teenager is a sidekick. Spiders are spooky. Spider Man sounds like a disaster. Stan's publishers and Marvel Comics were flummoxed. What kind of hero was that? But readers adored Spider Man. When it was down to the final chapter, Spider Man's biggest fight wasn't with Doc Ock, it was with himself. And that battle for self confidence put Spidey, Stan, and millions of fans on the same page. As with Outcast character, slingshot his way to the top with a best selling record smashing issue. Stan felt like his excitement could catapult him to the top of New York's tallest building, too. Sapsipt, twashwit, on second thought, better leave the web sling to Spidey. Stan's publisher slapped him on the back in hearty congratulations. Remember that Spider-Man idea we all liked so much? Why don't we turn it into a series? What other superheroes do you have up your sleeves? With so many ideas for perfectly imperfect superheroes, he was gonna need bigger sleeves. Stan dusted off the books from his childhood, the ones that transformed his family's brick-facing window into thousands of imaginative worlds. His pen misunderstood monsters like Frankenstein, but with his own flair, bestowing his creations with a hero's heart of gold or a silver surfboard. He reimagined the Norse gods, clad in capes, wielding hammers and exchanging words reminiscent of the bard's famous plays. Next, he invented a doctor turned master of the mystic arts who cast curious spells, then a genius billionaire who thought he had it all until an iron suit showed him how to be a hero. Called him the Human Torch because Stan was on fire. Swish sat Tang. The Marvel Universe was exploding at the seams with Stan's superheroes. Soon it was packing up its nicest iron suits because it was headed to Hollywood, and so was Stan. As the red carpet beckoned, Stan knew that with great power there must also come great responsibility. Face front true believers. Stan set aside the magic hammer and created something new, a column to talk directly to his readers. With Stan's soapbox in every monthly Marvel comic, he worked to answer the question, what makes a hero? You don't need a pair of web shooters or impenetrable skin to stand up for your fellow man. Anyone can be a hero as long as they stand for what's right. Enough said. And that, my friends, was the end of the story. I'll see you next time. Bye.